Hey everyone, this is Ganja T, or at least most of you know me by that. I just want to let you know I uploaded a tutorial a while ago about a male-female sound replication thing that you can add to your project. Well, I decided to make a component out of it, and if you guys want it, I will give you guys all the links and details and this video on how to kind of utilize it. But first off, I just want to say that I apologize if this isn't a very good video. This is the first video I've ever made with my voice and talking and working through it at the same time, and I guess multitasking. So just bear with me. But yeah, this is the sound replication component, and this is kind of what you can do with it and expect to see from it. It's not only limited to UMSP; it's also able to be used in any other project if you want it. So anyway, this is kind of what it does. So here's a chest example. You can add the sounds to open, add the sounds to close, whether it's actually interacting with it or you can put it on the visibility toggle. Or even if you were to add storage to your AI and stuff, you can use it when you interact with them. Like, so I have it set up when I press the E key, it opens up the inventory. So when I press E, and then I press E again, or sorry, not E, tab to back out, it's a zip unzip. And yeah, and oh, and when you jump, and I'm spamming jump. Oh, hang on, I disconnected it. Okay, sorry, I disconnected it. I just reconnected it real quick. But anyway, when you jump it, and I'm spamming it, it doesn't spam jump. You can interrupt it. If you got like multiple, say, attacks you want to do, you can cancel the current playing sound if you want the next sound to play and override it. It's not just limited to playing only one sound at a time. It can cancel, it can overlap, whatever you need it to do. So, okay. So anyway, I'm gonna put this into like I don't know, probably 3 examples or so. First example will be how to integrate with like just a common jump, like I showed. Second one will be like how to integrate with the chest for open and close. And the third example is going to be like how to maybe call it on a montage with a montage notify or something to play an attack sound and cancel it, and etc. etc. The component is going to be in a zip file, and it's going to be just inside the zip will be a content folder, then a components folder inside of that, and then a sound component folder inside of that. And then inside of the sound component folder will be the BPC sound player component itself. And it's basically just open up this zip and just drag the content folder to your project, and it'll automatically just go to the right place. First off, I just want to show off what's inside of the sound player component itself. I put a comment here with the initial event that you call from wherever it's needed. I put it this way. I don't know of any other better way. If anyone wants to give me tips and how to do, you know, male, female, if an enum would be better or something, but I found this to work all right. So you call this event anywhere, third person character, chests, wherever you want to place it, and then you just use a make array, and slot 0, index 0, I guess, would obviously be a male sound. You can use it for just a generic sound, so if you only want to play like a open close chest sound kind of thing, you just put your open or close sound in here and just leave this one, or just remove this pin when you do the make array. And then yeah, it's very simple. Nothing major. It's hopefully it doesn't have any issues. I haven't come across any yet. So if there is any, I guess just let me know in Discord, and I will try and help troubleshoot and re-upload the necessary files if needed. This also, I've built it in Unreal Engine 5.4, so I don't think it's going to work in 5.5. What I'll do is I'll just make another version of this, the same thing in 5.5, and upload it. And if anyone needs an older version or something, just let me know. The only versions of Unreal Engine I have downloaded are 5.3, 5.4, and 5.5. I don't have anything older than 5.3 currently. So if you need one for 5.3, just let me know and I'll whip one up and upload it as well into the same folder link that I'll be given to Pete or Dean when they go to upload this. I guess let's move on to a couple of the integration points. Okay, so for the first one, we'll do the jump example. So in the third-person character or ALS or GASP or whatever you're using, you'll just want to find the input action jump. And what I've got going here is I've added the component. The BPC sound player, added it to the player. And then, yeah, I just dragged it out. Called the init sound. Once you call the init sound, just do a make array. Add however many sounds you want to this. If you got male and female voices, you obviously want to add an extra pin. And like I said, the first one will be male. Second one here will be the female sounds. If it doesn't have a female sound, it will just ignore it. So for now, I'm using just the male sound for jumping. Then you want to, if you want the other players to hear your character jumping every time you jump, then you just want to check the box and replicate it so everyone can hear it. You got a start delay, so if you want to jump and have the sound play like, I don't know, half a second after the jump is started and you're like mid-air, you can play the sound if you want, or right as you jump, like it's just to delay the sound offset to play with it. Attenuation settings, you can create your own. I just typically use the footsteps attenuation settings that comes in UMSP, but like I said, you can make your own. And the volume multiplier, so if you obviously want it louder, make it louder. This is what I currently have set up. Now for the input action jump, to prevent from spamming it, so when you jump and it doesn't, and you keep spamming jump, it'll continuously play the sounds if your sound's too short. But if you have a sound that's the duration, you know, whatever, 3 seconds or something, then it won't play another sound over top or instead or whatever if you have this unchecked. But since my sound is very short, it's like a half a second long, so after it plays and I'm still in the air, I can hit jump again because the sound is done. So I've added this bool to can play sound, so when I'm jumping, I don't want another sound to play. I just want to jump, and while I'm in the air, I do not want this sound to play at all. So if I actually remove it, just so I can show you, and I go in and I jump, it still sounds fine, but if I was to spam jump, that's what would happen. So what I've done in this case is I made this bool, and I also want to show that once you do the jump action and you disable this sound, you want to re-enable it, obviously, because I believe if you jump now, you can only play it once. So I'm spamming and it's not playing anymore. So to combat with the jump issue and re-enable it, you just want to go to your event on landed and add this bool from the component to re-enable it so that you're allowed to send another jump command. There may be a better way of doing this that I can set up inside of the component itself, but this is the only way that my brain wanted to design it. So if you got a better idea, just let me know. So now when I jump, I can spam it, and it only initiates the one time on every jump, and then when lands it resets it. So that's how you'd set it up for, like, say, the jump. And if you added a female voice, it would play the female voice depending on the gender. If you watch or look at my other tutorial, to set up the genders, all you do is just create the variable on the customization area, and I guess, hang on. So I believe you just want to come into this customization area here, and all I do is I just right click on the pin that I want to promote to a variable. I promote it to the variable, and I would drag this down to probably right about here. And then set up the gender type. Okay, so after you set the gender, you just go back to the jump that you were working on. I made the mistake of forgetting how to define which of these ones to play, whether it's male or female, so I just added enum gender slot here. So the variable you just created, you want to drag it in, connect it here, and then whenever you start your game, it will grab the gender from the update customization and use whatever gender your character is defined in the customization menu of the lobby. So that's essentially how you set up the jumping sounds with this sound component. I'll just show it off one more time. So there's that one, and I don't have any female jumping sounds, so I just made like a armor sound when you jump. So for the female, if I switch over to the female, and if this was defined as the female, clearly it's a male character right now, but if I did set it, had this connected up, and the character was female, this is what the sound would be. So as you can see, it changes depending on the gender. Oops. So there, now it's was set to female, and now it should recognize that I'm the male. So that's how you set up jump. Okay, so now next would be to work on this chest. So you'd want to open up the chest component, add the sound player to this, which is just add this component. And in this component also, there's no fancy settings. There's like a do not edit section. You mess with these, it can mess up the component a little bit, and you might run into some issues. So nothing is set in the component here itself. It's all just done through these settings right here. So with this chest not having a gender, obviously, you just leave it to the male, like I set in here. Use index 0 for male sound. So index 0, male. Just leave it as that if you want to use a generic sound. So if you want the sound to replicate when you add the component, after you add the component, you can replicate it so everybody can hear you opening the chest. But if you only want it to be for just yourself, then you won't necessarily need to check this, because it might be annoying if you're opening and closing chests for the next 20 minutes while you're organizing your base or something. Other people may not want to listen to you opening and closing chests all the time, but that's totally up to your preference. So I just left it as not replicated, and this will be the open and close that I've set up. So I'll kind of walk you through it real quick. First off, you want to drag in the component, do the init sound, make an array. So first off, this will be the open sound, because it's going to play first right as the chest opens. So you would set your open sound in here, set the settings that you need, leave it as male for the generic sound. I'd put the footsteps in here, or create your own, like I said earlier. Everything else looks pretty good. If you find it opens and closes too loud, just adjust this. You can drop it down to 0.5, 0.6, whatever you want, if it's too loud. After you're done doing that, if you want the functionality of the closing, you'll have to add all this extra stuff, which I'll go through here in a second. But I go into the level. This just allows the open sound, and then when you close it, nothing. But if you want a closing sound, what I've done is I have made, off of the executor, you drag over, get the inventory component, then you want to get the currently open storage that the player has open, and if it matches this storage that you're currently looking at, then it's just going to do a delay and then recheck to see if it's still open. If it's not open, it'll come back as false and it'll play the close sound. So that's all I've done here. You can play with the duration if you don't want it to keep checking 0.1 seconds. It's just not going to work very well if you do it longer. So, like, let's just say 1 second. This is what it'll sound like. So when you close, it's a little delayed. And it'll be random depending on when in that 1 second range you actually close it. If you close it at the beginning of the 1 second, you'll have to wait a full second before it plays the sound. If you close it just before that delay loops back around, then you might get it right away. So it's all dependent. I just do 0.1. It's only for the chest that you currently have open, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. If you have better ways of doing it, by all means do it. And yeah, so that's how you do the open and close on a chest. And I don't have any hair and all that stuff on my character. I kind of temporarily removed them because I was working on a preview character that I was just testing out, and I didn't need them on there right now. Wanted to work on the armor. Okay, so I guess the next one to work on is going to be the montage. How to play a sound during a montage. I'll probably do it through the character punch action and sound. I don't currently have it set up right now, and I haven't actually tested it fully, so I'll kind of pause and resume and keep working on it until I get something fully functional. So you may see me deleting things or changing things in a flash, but that's just me pausing and resuming to work on it. But I'll kind of build it as you're watching this video so that it kind of helps you out right then and there. Okay, so currently this is how it's being played. It's got a play anim montage. This isn't really the one that I like to use. I like the one that has the various different notify outputs and stuff. So in a minute, I will show you how to replace this. We can keep this if you want, but we can do like maybe a impact if it hits something. So let's go and set that up right now. So this is the one that I currently like to use. You just type in play montage. Don't mind my other stuff. I've got a montage player that I've been working on. So anyway, so this is what you're gonna want to replace it with. I'm not going to do any like replication or anything. That'll be up to you to decide on how you want to do the replication. But I'll just do like a generic setup, I guess. So you want to grab the mesh that you want to play it on, put it in here. Let's do the punch action, punch montage. Okay, so we'll leave this all as is. And now what we're going to want to do is open up that punch montage. Now wherever you'd want the impact point, so say it's, you want it to play a sound right here when it hits. Under notifies, you'll want to right click, add notify, and go montage notify. Let's call this hit. Okay, so once you do that, save it, go back to the character. On the notify name, you want to go switch. I like it doing this way. You can do like an equals and a branch and all that stuff, but I kind of like the switch. It's a little better. So anyway, disconnect it here. And then on notify begin, when it does the hit, we want to add a pin. Put hit. We want to check for that hit. I'm just going to get rid of that default pin. Okay, so then once it's done and it triggers the hit, I'm going to want to call my sound player. Do the init sound. In this case, I'm probably going to want to replicate it, so if I'm fighting other players, they can hear the impact as well. Should interrupt current playing sound. Not really, because I don't want to be able to span the montage over and over and over, so we'll just leave it at this. Make array. Let's see if I got any punch. I'm just going to use this hero punch wave file. I'm not sure where it came from. Maybe one of the packs I have. But that sounds fine. So we'll do this. We will also grab oops. I don't want it to play a sound until the this has completed. We'll also grab another one on completed. So no sound, and then when it's completed, you can play another sound. And its animation will do footsteps. Gender. That's essentially it. If you had wanted to play other sounds or whatever, you can add it to the index one. And that's essentially it. So I'm just going to borrow this for now just to do the primary action. You'd want to put it wherever you feel comfortable playing the montage. So like maybe here and keep the whoosh, but I will just use it on the primary action. And let's test it out. So currently it's spammable, so I'll just get rid of that real quick. Let's see what they got set up here for it. Oh yeah, there's a do ones here. You know what, I'll just set it up in here. This isn't multicasted, this will just be... Yeah, so it could do it there too, but both. No, let's just do it here. Take that, connect it into here, so we'll use this. Take this, connect it into here, like this. Connect it to here. Move this out of the way. So there's two punches here. I've only added it to the punch one, so I might as well add the hit to the punch two. Call this one hit as well. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so it's not... Okay, so what I had to do was just check this should interrupt current playing sound, just so that it can stop the punch sound. Like, so if I uncheck this, I'll just show you. And punch. It just seems like the montage is a little too fast and the sound's still playing, or it's quiet but the actual file size duration is a little bit longer than how fast you can punch. So I just had to allow it to interrupt and only play when the montage plays, and can interrupt the silenced part of the audio file. So all I did was just check this. And now when you punch, Obviously, you can set that sound up that it only triggers on the notify if you're causing damage to another entity or whatever. So, and yeah, I guess that's essentially how you would set this up. You'd want to kind of do the same thing and just won't have to do the end and notify names and the sound and all that stuff necessarily on here. You can just add this, and this to here. And yeah, that's essentially it. I hope you guys like it. If you got any issues or problems, just let me know, and I can add it, fix it, whatever needs to be done. Alright, well, thanks.